Hi, welcome to Easy Learning. In this video, I'm going to explain and compare different division methods, which will help you to choose your favorite one. Different division methods are place value section method, expanded notation method, and digit by digit method. Let's start with the place value section method first. Here I have to divide 834 by 6. In this problem, 834 is my dividend and 6 is my divisor. To divide, I need to find how many hundreds, how many tens and ones to find the unknown factor. This is my place value table. This column represents ones, tens and hundreds. My dividend is 834, so that's why I'm going to write it in hundreds column. And my divisor is 6, so I'm going to write it here. First step is I need to find how many hundreds do I need here to find this unknown factor. So let's think together. 6 times 100 is equal to 600. 6 times 200 is equal to 1200. 1200 is too big. And 6 times 1 is 600, and it seems 600 will fit here. So what I'm thinking, let me write it here. 6 times 100 is 600, and 6 times 200 is equal to 1200. Right, so 600 will fit here because it's closer to 834, but 1200 is too big to fit here. So I'm going to select first one. 6 times 100 is 600. Now the next step is to subtract these two numbers. Let's start from the right side. 4 minus 0 is 4. 3 minus 0 is 3. 8 minus 6 is 2. I have 234 left for other sections, so I'm gonna move it here. 234 in the tens column. So let's think multiples of 6. 6 times 110 is 60. 6 times 210 is 120. 6 times 3 tens means 6 times 30 is 180. 180 is a little bit closer to 234. So let's move on. 6 times 4 tens means 6 times 40 is 240. 240 is bigger than 234. So what I'm thinking, let me write it here. 6 times 20 is 120. 6 times 30 is 180. 6 times 40 is 240. So 240 is bigger than 234. So I'm going to select 600. 6 times 30, which is equal to 180. So 6 times 3 tens, 6 times 30 is 180. And now I'm gonna subtract it. 4 minus 0 is 4. 3 minus 8 is not possible, so I'm gonna take 1 from this 2, and this will make my 3 13. Now I'm gonna subtract or take away 8 from 13. 13 minus 8 is 5. So now it's 1 minus 1 is 0. So now I have 54 4 left for this section. So I'm going to move 54 over here. Now 54 is in 1's column. In this section, I have 54 left. So I'm going to divide 54 by 6. Let's think multiple of 6. 6 times 7 gives me 42, right? 6 times 8 gives me 48. 6 times 9 gives me 54. So this means when I multiply 6 by 9, it gives me 54, the exact number which is equal to my above number. So I'm going to subtract 54 minus 54 and 0 left. Okay, so now I have done my place value section method, and let me add all my hundreds, tens and ones. Then I'll tell you what is the quotient, or what is this unknown factor, or what is the solution when I divide 834 by 6. So let's add 100, 100 plus 3 tens means 30 plus 9 ones. So this means I have 139. So 139 is my quotient, or is the solution when I divided 834 by 6. Here we learned how we divide a number using place value sections. Now move on to the second division method, which is expanded notation method. Here we have the same division problem, 834 divided by 6, but now we are solving it using expanded notation method. The first thing is to rewrite this division problem using this division sign. So first I'm gonna write my dividend, which is 834, and here is my divisor 6. Instead of taking chunks of this dividend and divide it by 6, I'm gonna take this dividend as a whole and divide it by 6. Because my dividend is in hundreds, so that's why I have to multiply 6 by big numbers, so that's why I get the number which will be closer to 834. This I can get if I multiply 6 by 100 or the numbers in hundreds. So let's see. 6 times 100 is 600. 6 times 200 is 1200. 1200 is too big for 834, so this will not fit here, but 600 will fit here because it's closer to 834. So I'm going to pick this one. 6 times 100 is 600. Now I'm going to subtract it. 4 minus 0 is 4. 3 minus 0 is 3. And when I take away 6 from 8, I'll get 2. So I have 234 left. Now I have to think about multiples of 6, which gives me the number equal to or closer to 234. So let's start. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 30 is 180. 6 times 40 is 240. 240 is bigger than 234. So this means I'm going to select 6 times 30. 6 times 30, I'm going to write it here. 6 times 30 gives me 180. And now I'm going to subtract it. 4 minus 0 is 4. 3 minus 8 is not possible. So I'm going to take 1 from 2 and it will become 1 and make my 3 as 13. Now 13 minus 8 is 5. Now I have 54 left. I'm going to divide it by 6. So think of multiples of 6 which gives me 54 or closer to 54. 6 times 8 is equal to 48 and 6 times 9 is equal to 54. I'm going to pick 6 times 9. 6 times 9 gives me the exact number which I want. Now I'm going to subtract 54 minus 54 is equal to 0. 0 is my remainder. Now I'm going to erase all these multiples of 6 because this was not the part of my all the solution or the steps. This was just the multiples and this was just the thinking. Now I'm going to add all these answers, 100 plus 30 plus 9, which gives me the answer of this division problem. So 100 plus 30 plus 9 gives me 139. So when I divide 834 by 6, I'll get 139. So this was all about expanded notation method. Let's solve the same problem, 834 divided by 6, using digit by digit method. From its name, you can easily get it that this time we're not going to divide 834 as a whole number, but we'll take its digit and divide it by 6. So let's see how we will solve it. First, I'm going to rewrite this problem, this division sign. 834 is my dividend and 6 is my divisor. So using digit by digit method, I'm going to pick this 8 digit and divide it by 6. So 8 divided by 6, 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 gives me 12, which is bigger than 8. So this means I'm going to use 1 here, 6 times 1, which gives me 6. Now I'm going to subtract it. 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. Now I'm going to take this 3 down, and when this 3 will combine with my remainder 2, so this will become 23. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. And 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 4 is 24 is bigger than 23. So this means 6 times 3 is equal to 18. Now I'm going to subtract it. And when I'll subtract 18 from 23, so 3 minus 8 is not possible. So I'm going to take 1 from this 2. This will become 1. And this 3 will become 13. 13 minus 8 is 5. So I'm going to write 5 here. Now 5 is my remainder, but I'm going to take this 4 down, which is another or the last digit from this dividend. And when this digit will combine my remainder 5, this will become 54. Now I have to divide 54 by 6. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 9 is 54. So 6 times 9 gives me the exact number which is equal to 54, and when I'll subtract it, I'll get 0. So 0 is my remainder. So this method, digit by digit method, is similar to our typical division, in which we'll take the small digits, or we'll divide the whole dividend into small chunks and divide it by our divisor. So the answer, when I divide 834 divided by 6, I'll get 139. So 139 is the answer of this problem using digit by digit method. Let's take a division problem and solve it using all these 3 methods, so you can easily compare them and select the best one for you. First, I'm going to solve 756 divided by 4 using place value section method. Because my dividend is in hundreds, 700, so that's why I'm going to draw 3 columns. The first one represents zeros or ones, tens, and hundreds. So this is my place value table. Here I have ones, my tens, and 2 zeros, and this is my hundreds place. I'm going to write my dividend here because it's in hundreds column, 756, and my divisor will go here. So let's think of number multiple of 4, which gives me the number closer to or equal to 756. So here I have to find out how many hundreds, how many tens, and how many ones I have to find out the unknown factor. So this is what I have to find out. So 4 times 100 gives me 400. 4 times 200 gives me 800. 800 is bigger than 756. So that's why I'm gonna pick 4 times 100. 4 times 100 gives me 400. Now I'm gonna subtract 400 from 756. When I subtract 6 minus 0, I'll get 6. 5 minus 0, 5. 7 minus 4 is 3. I have 356 left, which I'm going to move it to this section, 356. Now think of multiples of 4, which gives me 356 or closer to 356. So 4 times 50 is 200. 4 times 60 is 240. 240 is closer. So move on and let's see. 4 times 70 is 280. And 4 times 80 is 320. So when I multiply 4 by 8 tens means 80. So I'll get 320. Now I'm gonna subtract it. When I'll subtract, 6 minus 0 is 6. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. So there is no need to write it here. Now I have 36 left. So I'm gonna move it to the other section. So here I have 36 now. And this is the ones column. And now I'm going to multiply 4 by 9, which gives me 36. 4 times 9 is 36. So I'm going to write it here. And when I'll subtract 36 minus 36, so I'll get 0 as a remainder. Now let's add them. 100 plus 80 plus 9. 189 is the answer when I divide 756 divided by 4. Let's solve the same problem using expanded notation method. I'm going to rewrite it using this division symbol. 756 is my dividend and 4 is my divisor. So let's start. Instead of taking its chunk and divide it by 4, I'm going to take this whole number and divide it by 4. 756 divided by 4. So when I multiply 4 times 100, this gives me 400, which is closer to 756. Now I'm going to subtract it. When I'll subtract it, 6 minus 0 is 6, 5 minus 0 is 5, and 7 minus 4 is 3. Now I have 356 left. Now I'm going to divide it by 4. So when I divide it by 4, 4 times 70 is 280, which is closer to 356. 4 times 80 is equal to 320. So I'm gonna write 80 here. 4 times 80 is 320. I'm gonna subtract it. And when I'll subtract it, I'll get 6 minus 0 is 6, and 5 minus 2 is 3. Right. So I have 36 left. When I'll multiply 4 times 9, I'll get 36. So when I'll divide it, when I'll subtract it, I'll get 0 at the end, means 0 is my remainder here. Let's add all these. Here I have 100 plus 80 plus 9, which is equal to 189. Now move on to the next method, which is digit by digit method. The first step is to rewrite it like this using this division sign. Here is my dividend 756 and here is my divisor 4. So from its name, you can easily get it that in this method, I'm gonna take its digit and divide it by 4. So first I'll pick 7. 7 divided by 4. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 is bigger, so I'm gonna pick 4 times 1, which is equal to 4. So when I'll subtract it, 7 minus 4 is 3. And now I'm gonna move this 5 down. And when this 5 digit combined with my remainder 3, this will become 35. Now I have to think of multiple of 4, which gives me 35 or equal to or closer to 35. Right, so 4 times 8 is 32 and 4 times 9 is 36. So 4 times 9 is 36, which is bigger. So I'll pick 4 times 8, which is equal to 32. When I'll subtract it, I'll get 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. Now I'm going to move this 6 down, and when this digit 6, which is the last digit of my dividend, will combine remainder 3, this will become 36. Now I'm going to divide 36 by 4. So 36 by 4 means think of multiples of 4. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 9 is 36. So 4 times 9 gives me the exact number, which is equal to 36. And when I'll subtract it, I'll get 0 at the end. 36 minus 36 is 0. So my answer is 189. And I got the same answer using expanded notation method and using place value sections method. So this was all about different division methods. Now you can easily compare all these 3 methods and you can easily pick the easiest or the simplest one for you.